Hi beady friends! So what have I got for you today then? I thought we would take a look at making some beaded drapes. And this is what I've made in the past. So this one I've just popped one of my lovely tassels on because, as you know, if you've seen my tassel videos, I love tassels. And this was a short one that I made and then extended it into a long necklace by just adding some seed beads, and I don't know why I put this clasp on the end because it will go straight over your head, but there you go, I put a clasp on the end which is a magnetic clasp, but it really doesn't need it because it goes straight over your head. So that's one I made. I also made this long one which looks fantastic for evening wear, and they're just made up of, the centre beads are 80 beads and then the outer ones are 11 OC beads on this one. And I just went and sat in front of the TV and made a really long rope, and then I just tied it into a knot and added some tassels to finish it off, and this looks beautiful on, nice and glitzy. And the same idea, I think this is the very first one that I ever made. Again, 8 O's for the core and then 11 O's a mix of for the outer edge. Sat and made a long rope, tied it in a knot, and obviously I've got lovely little tassels again on the end. So what I thought we'd do today was make a variation of this and do a double. So I'll show you what I mean by that once we've got started, but basically it means where on here I've just gone through the core bead once and added my seed beads. I'm just going to go through the same core beads twice with a variation of seed beads, just to give it a little bit of a different look. So with no further ado, I'm going to pause the video and get set up and show you what you need to make this video with me. So I'll catch you back in a second. I'm back then, set up and ready. So today then, what you will need are some 8 OC beads, and these are going to be your core beads, and today I'm using a Toho brand size 8 and the colour is Snowflake. For my outer beads, which are the outer beads here, I'm going to be using, now these come in hanks. They're a check bead, so you don't need your expensive beads because you do need quite a lot of them. It's a hank of beads. I don't know the colour of them. I do know they're a check size 11, but they're like a very light green. I just thought getting in the mood for summer. Also, again on a hank, and these are by Precocer, and these are very similar to the core beads, so I'd imagine they're like a white snowflake colour. There's no colour on here, it just says traditional check beads by Precocer. There's no colour on them, so I'd just imagine they're white, and they come on hanks. Just move that back out the way. And also, to give it a bit of interest, these are a little rondelle. Just going to bring you in, just going to bring you in a little bit so you can see these a little bit better. Got a bit of a sparkle to them. Put them on my finger. Oh, that didn't work, did it? They're a very small bead. I'd say they're a 2. Let's get a measuring, give them a measure just in case you want to do the same. They are, like I say, a rondelle bead, and they are a 3mm rondelle. I'd say a 2 by 3mm rondelle bead. Yeah, 3mm and 2mm going from hole to hole, and 3mm going across the wider bit. Just go and pull you back out again. Okay, and you're going to be needing a beading needle. Now you can use a size 10 beading needle. I think this is a size 12 just because that's what I've got on hand. But if you have a size 10 will do. Yours doesn't have to be bent. It's just that I've got a bent one out today, so I'm going to use a bent needle. And thread wise, you can use a 1G thread, which I think I'm going to use today. Now you will have to add on your thread today. There's no way that you're going to be able to manage the amount of thread all in one go. So I am going to use today a 1G thread, but you can also use a fireline like this one. A £6 will be absolutely fine. But any thread that you have available is what you will need. You will also need, attached to everything, you will also need a pair of scissors just to cut your thread. Okay, so it took me about 20 minutes to choose my beads. I made a couple of swatches up and altered to get what I wanted, but you just choose some beads that you'd like to use. You can use your cheapy beads on this, it doesn't really matter. Oh, and you'll also need a little stop bead, but if you haven't got one it doesn't really matter, but a little stop bead does help. Okay then, so I'm going to pause the video and let you get your bits and pieces together. So we're back then. All I've done is threaded my needle and remembering to squash the end of the thread. I'm using 1G thread and you can still squash the end of the thread with your pliers, and that does help to get it through your needle. I've just put a stop bead on my thread, leaving quite a long tail, just so once I've decided what I'm going to do at the ends, I can tie on, etc. Now I have got quite a lot of thread on my needle, so you're going to have to forgive me as I pull the beads through, and as long as you just keep on running your hands through the thread, that just helps straighten it out and helps it to become smooth. Right, so my pattern, what I'm going to be doing is, first of all, we need to be picking up four of your core beads. Now remember, your core beads need to be, for this design, a size 8 C bead, and I am using a Toho brand, and this colour is Snowflake. Okay, so we're going to drop those down our thread, down to the core, down to the stop bead. Okay, right, my pattern is, first of all, I'm going to pick up 2 of my green, light green C beads, 2 of my white ones, and 2 of my light green again. This is going to be the start. Let me bring you in just a wee bit so you can see what I'm picking up. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up. Them are my, oh, she says, and then I go and drop them off the needle. So 2 green and 2 white, and I've got green in there, and 2 green. Okay, this time don't drop off your needle, Jane. So this is what I'm picking up. Okay, I'm going to drop these down to my core beads, and then I'm going to run my needle back up the 4 core beads like that. Okay, pulling my thread through, and it causes a little loop, so you can see my core beads here and my decorating beads there. Now you need to either put your beads to the left or to the right, and you stay in that direction, otherwise you will not have a nice twist. By that I mean I'm holding the decorating beads, the spiral beads, to the left. Okay, to move on then we need to pick up a core bead. Sorry about all the thread. Okay, and then in my pattern you can carry on just doing the same, but I am going to pick 2 of my green up, 1 of my little shiny beads, and 2 seed beads. Now you can use whatever you want. You can use little fire polish beads, bicone beads, whatever you like, but today this is what I'm using. So what you need to do then is count back 4 core beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go up those 4 core beads, holding them, pulling your thread tight, and that is what you shall have. Now remembering what I said earlier, either push them over to the left or over to the right. Okay, again adding a core bead. Once you've got the hang of this, I'll show you a quicker way then of moving forward. So a core bead, and going back to the first one that I did, as in 2 of the little green ones, 2 of the white, and 2 of the green. Okay, counting back 4 core beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, putting the needle through, holding them, and pulling the thread through. Simple, push it to the left. Okay, and this is what you will have. Okay, picking up a core bead, dropping it down, again this time following the pattern. I need to pick up 2 of the light green, 1 of my little shiny rondelles, and 2 of the green. Counting back 1, 2, 3, 4, going up 4 core beads and pulling my thread, oh, got the wrong one, thread through. Okay, pushing it over to the left. Can you see now? Little pattern that we're getting. It's really pretty. Moving forward, picking up a core bead, dropping it down. Sorry about the oceans of thread. 2 green beads, 2 white beads, 2 green beads. This is my pattern, doesn't have to be yours, whatever you want. Making sure that the last one that we threaded on is over to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 core beads. Pull our thread through. Push it over to the left. And can you see now how it's starting to, let me just bring you in just for a, oh, banging everything. Just for a second so you can see this up close. Can you see how it's starting to twist? There's my core beads in the centre, and it's all starting to twist round nicely. Yeah. So picking up a core bead, dropping it down, get a knot in your thread, if you do get a knot in your thread, it's because I'm working with such a long piece, put your needle in, okay, so the knot's gone. Let's get on with it then. So I've dropped down a core bead. So the next in my pattern is 2 green, a rondelle, 2 green, counting back 4 of my core beads, going through and pulling my thread through. What I have done is what I should have done at the beginning. I have put on some beeswax on my thread, and so just pushing it over to the left, and this is what we have. Doesn't look much yet, a little bit of a pattern starting. Bear with it, bear with it. Now I'm going to show you now how we can move a bit quicker. So I'm going to add my core bead, back to the pattern, 2 green, 2 white, 2 green, and don't panic. I know we've got the core bead there with the pattern beads, but drop them all down together. Okay, and then carry on as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring back the 4 core beads, including the one that we've just added. Okay, and pull our thread through. Okay, pushing it over to the left. This is what we have so far. Remember, core bead, 2 green, a rondelle, 2 green, dropping all our beads down together at one time. Sorry about the dog barking, probably a cat in the street or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm not in shot, am I? Up through the 4 core beads. And there we are. So I'll show you another couple of times then. Core bead, 2 seed beads, 2 of the white seed beads, 2 green, drop all our beads down. I'm attached to a pencil now. Drop our beads down. One, 2, 3, 4 of the core beads. Got another knot in my thread. Not having a good day with this thread today. Okay, gone. Over to the left. Can you see how it's all twisting? Core bead, 2 green seed beads, rondelle, 2 greens, drop those beads down, Yeah. Exposing the core beads. Count back 4. Up those 4 cores. Pull our thread through. And there we have it. So, and then white snowflake beads, the core beads, are starting to take on a bit of a green hue off the green bead, so it's looking good. Keep going then. Core bead, 2 green seeds, keeping up with my pattern we need 2 white, back to the 2 green, drop the beads down. The thread's behaving itself now, it's been through a few times, getting warmed up in my fingers, making sure that the last beads added have gone over to the left, exposing the center core beads with my fingers, counting back 4 beads. Now remember, you are the boss of the beads, not the beads the boss of you. Nothing can happen, nothing bad's going to happen, don't be frightened of them. And pull your thread through, over to the left. Core bead, 2 green, rondelle, 2 green, drop the beads down, holding between my thumb and my forefinger, exposing the core beads, count 4 down, including the last one added, and pull through your thread, and there it is. Okay, so we've got about an inch going on here now, just over an inch, and look how pretty they are. It's going to be a pretty summery, I'm glad I chose these colours. It's going to be a pretty summery necklace. Okay, moving on. Core bead, 2 seeds green, 2 seeds white, 2 seeds green. Okay. Catching the last 4, including the last one you put on of the core beads, pulling our thread through. Last one's gone on and over it goes. This is a great project if you're sitting watching TV in the evening, because you don't have to think about it. If you are somebody who forgets about the pattern, you could set a few up in front of you, so you know what you're picking up next, and then lay out. Oh, that's stuck on my needle. And you can put them in order so you know what you're picking up. I know people that do that. Whatever works for you. I'll just look at the state of my nails. Don't look at the state of my nails. They're a bit battered. So we're going to keep on moving forward then. I'll stay with you a little bit longer and then we'll go to length. So next in my pattern is my core bead, 2 seeds, the rondelle, 2 seeds, drop those beads down to the rest of my work. Opening the core, going back through the last 4 and pulling my thread through. There it is added, pop it over to the left. Okay, picking up a seed bead, to green, to white, to green. Drop your beads down to the rest of your work. Give yourself yet another knot that's just worked itself straight out. Exposing the core. Pick up the last 4 and pull your beads through. Okay, and over to the left. Every now and again as well, make sure you give your thread a bit of a tug just to keep everything nice and tight. So that's what I have so far. This is really pretty, I'm loving this. So at the minute I'm undecided on whether to do a bracelet or a necklace, and I'm undecided as well as to, I don't think I've got enough of the green to do a great big long necklace, but we will see. I am contemplating, see how I go, on making a shorter one like this purple one, and taking it to length with seed beads that way, and then maybe adding one of my lovely tassels that I love making. So we'll see. I'm undecided, but you decide what you want to do. If you've got enough, if you've got a hank of beads, then you've got plenty then to make the full necklace. So if you've got a full hank of your seed beads, you should be able to go all the way to length, and then add some tassels on. And I've just realised I'm saying a lot, so I do apologise. Kidding. Yeah, I do apologise. I do realise I'm saying that quite a bit, so I'm sorry about that. Rightio, so we'll catch up with you then and decide what I'm going to do with mine. I could actually do an ending for you showing you tassels like this. It's very easy to do. I'll see how I get on with mine, but I might put that on the end for you in any way, just to show you if you wanted to make a long necklace and put tassels on the end. Okay, so I'll catch up with you in a little while. Come on, get beading now, don't stop. Get a brew on, get a film on, and get yourself some beading done. I'll catch you back in a little while. Right, just coming back into you just for a few minutes. This is how far I've got. So I have approximately almost 11 inches of work so far. And to be honest, I've only used 1 string from this hank, and probably not even half a string from the white hank. So when I said you need a full hank of beads, is probably an over exaggeration. Possibly a whole hank altogether, if you like, of both beads. But if you're only using 1 colour, then you possibly will use a whole hank or thereabouts, you know, but you will need a hank. So, if you understood what I was trying to say. Right, it's time. I've almost run out of thread, so I'm going to widen you off a bit. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you. Now, I have got a video on how to join thread, fireline and 1G thread. So if you're using fireline, you might want to go and check out that video. I'm going to show you how to add 1G thread. Okay, and this also works for nymo. Alright, so I'm just going to pull off some new threads, a good bit. Okay, cut it off. Right, to join it, what you need to do is on your new thread make a slip knot, and you make a slip knot by going round, forming a circle, okay, and then crossing your let me bring you down a bit because you can't see, can you? Okay, bring in here, that's it. Let's put something dark underneath so you can see. Have I got anything dark? And I'm back. I'm just using a case from my bits and bobs. Right, so this is my thread from my piece of jewellery from my project. And this is my new thread that I want to add. Okay, so what you need to do is, this is 1G thread, is go, let me pull out just a little bit. I think I'm just a little bit too close. That's it. So wrap it around your finger just to make a loop. So you take it off your finger and you've got a circle. Okay, the tail is here. Pass the tail under the circle and grab hold. So let's do that again. So wrap it around your finger and make a circle. Take it off your finger so you have the circle there. Okay. Take the thread and take it round the back so it's like that, and pull up that thread into a loop. So that is a slip knot. Okay. Pass your old thread through that loop. Okay. This is our thread from our work. And the beauty of this, you can move this wherever you want, so you can put it all the way down here by where your work is which is what I'm going to do. And then taking your new thread, this is my new thread, there's my thread from my piece of jewellery, my project. Here's the new one with the loop on, and just pull the ends of your thread together, and you'll hear or you'll feel a click, and that's it now. That is firmly attached. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so you can trim down your ends a little bit. So I'm going to keep that shorter one as it is, and this one I'm going to just trim down. Ooh. The scissors attached to everything. Okay, so that's my old thread there, and I'm going to put that in the bin. And then and take that out of the way just for a minute because you don't need to see that anymore. Finding the end of my new thread then. I know I've got a lot again. I might be able to go for a full length necklace at this rate with tassels on. Don't realise. Taking my flat nose pliers, squashing down the end to make the thread flat, getting my needle might have it the wrong way around. Rethreading the needle, pulling plenty through and running it through my hands. Too much tail thread. I'm just watching a movie while I'm making me bits. How far have you got in? Excuse me. Less than an hour beading. After I left you, I went and made myself a cup of tea and came up back into my bead room and started watching a film, and I already have this. So my ends are there, and what I'll do, I'll carry on beading, pretending they're there, pretending they're pretending they are not there is better. And then I will just trim off any bits I can see later in the day, but that knot is going nowhere, solid as a rock. But if you're using fireline and you want to see it again, how I tied it on again, I have got a video on how to join threads. Just have a look through my playlist and they'll be there. I haven't got many, as you know. I'm new at the jewellery side of things. Okay then, so I just wanted to catch up with you to see how you were doing. And this is really pretty. Looks nicer in real life than probably what it does on camera, I'm not sure. It's beautiful. So I will catch up with you once I've gone to length. I think I will be able to manage to get a full length necklace out of this. I'll have to see how I go with my little rondelles. But yeah, I'm going to keep on going and see how far I get. So catch up with you again soon. Keep beading, come on. So we're back then. I have managed to bead 33 inches all told. So this will go over my head, and what I've decided to do, because I've got one string of the green left and I want to make tassels, and I have plenty of the white left. So what I'm going to do is make tassels on the ends, and then I thinking of putting them together with a loop of beads, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You can keep going if you have enough. I reckon you're going to need at least probably 40 inches. If I've got 33 here, you're going to probably need 40 inches, maybe a bit more, to make a decent knot. And then we're going to put your tassels on the end here now, and then you do the knot after. So thought I'd join you and show you what to do. Right, so we finished our length, so now we're going to prepare the beads so we can add our tassels. And by that I mean we're going to carry on making some of these loops, or should we say the embellishments on the sides, but we aren't going to go any further in length. So in other words, we are no longer going to add any of our core beads. We're going to go through the same 4 beads as we went through on the last edition of the embellishment. So, and we're not going to put on any more of these. We're just going to put on seed beads. So for me, you might be doing all seed beads. You might not be putting a little fancy on in the middle. And when you do all just seed beads, it looks just as good. See, this hasn't got any fancy. I've just alternated the colours in the beads, that's all. So you don't have to have the fancies. So with no further ado, let's move on then and get this necklace finished. So we're going to pick up 2 green, 2 white, 2 green. Going back up the 4 core beads, okay, and pulling our thread through. Okay, put it over to the left. Keep on putting it over to the left like we have been doing all this time. So up the 4, pull our thread through. Today is now Wednesday. I'm on my second day of making this tutorial, and the weather don't normally get snow down Cornwall. What's going on? I moved down. This is my second Christmas, or was my second Christmas down here, and we've had rotten weather, as in cold. We've got snow today. Apparently we're having snow tomorrow and Friday. It was Beast from the East. It's now its girlfriend, Storm Emma. So, keep on. We're just finishing off the ends. Make it look nice. Okay, maybe another 2. Moved down Cornwall, October 16. So when I moved down to Cornwall, as you can tell, my accent isn't Cornish. I'm a northerner. Haven't always lived in Stoke-on-Trent either. Gone through the wrong beads. There we are. Find the core beads. What's going on? Can't see it. There we are. Better. One more and we're done. Okay, so coming up the last 4. I've got my thread in the loop the wrong way. Pull that out. I've got that around my phone. Everything's going Pete Tong. That's it. Okay. That'll do. Just move that phone out of the way. So I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've added another 6. So can you see it just makes it into a ball effect? Just finishes off nicely. So now we can begin to add our tassels. Now I did already have a look at what design I wanted yesterday for a tassel, and this is what I've come up with. I'm just going to bring you in a little bit so you can just see what design I'm going to have for my tassel. So I'm using an 8/0, 3 green, an 8/0, 5 white, one of my rondelles, 3 green, an 8/0, 5, an 8/0, 3, and a rondelle, and then one little white one on the end for a turning bead. And by what I mean turning bead, it means that I pass my thread all the way through the beads and then come back up through the rondelle. That way the thread catches through the last C bead and it doesn't fall off, because otherwise if you passed all your thread down and passed it all the way back up, they'd all just come straight off the thread. Okay, so I've decided that is the length that I want for my tassel. Okay, and you can design any which way you want. Right, so I need to move. Well, I can do the first one up there and then alter it. So I'm coming out of the core bead. Okay, let's just take you out a little bit, not too much. So I'm picking up an 8, 3 green, an 8, 5 white, a rondelle, 3 green, an 8-0, 5 white, an 8-0, 3 green, a rondelle and a little white. Okay, I'm going to drop all those beads down, and that is what the first tassel will look like. Okay, so missing out the last white bead then we added, I'm going to come back through all those beads, as many as I can at a time. Okay, making sure that you don't skip any. That's really important, that you don't skip any. Come back up, and I'm actually going to choose one of your outer sets of beads and go up. Okay, so I've just chose an outer set of beads and I'm putting my needle through and then pull up our thread. Okay, and you'll probably end up with something like that. Pull the end, and that pulls them knots out, and then pull up your thread. Like that. Okay, put it up nice and snug. Okay, so we've come out of one, we just need to move over to the next. Okay, and come down those beads. And I've looped my thread around. If that happens to you, just pull your work through the loop. I don't know. I think the snow's got to my brain. Okay, there we go. Okay, and that just pulls everything up. Okay, so looking at my beads coming this way, I want to make sure I pick up the same. So it's 1 size 8, 3 green, 1 size 8, 5 white, a rondelle, 3 green, a white, size 8, 5 white, a white and 3 green. Now I can spot a mistake in mine there. I can see that I've picked a green up in the white. but I won't say anything if you don't. Be our secret, shh. And for the end, a rondelle and one white for our turning bead. Okay, so pull those beads down, missing the little white bead on the end, coming back through, needle your way through as many beads as you can, remembering and checking as you go that you don't miss out any beads. Okay, and sometimes people call when you make a mistake like that one there with the green in there between the white, a spirit bead. It was meant to be there, so that's what they say. So whoever buys this off me will have a spirit bead. Okay, so I've got my thread all over the show at the minute. Okay, so pull these beads through. Pull them up. And you now have 2 tassels. To finish it off, go up through the outer beads, pull the thread through. Okay. So now then, I'm going to jump my thread up. Let's have a look. We want to be looking to come out down the bottom. I'm going to weave my way through these beads like that, and down the 2 beside. I don't want to fill up the centre beads too much, and then I'm going to come down those last 3 there, like that. You see, all I've done is followed a thread path so you can't see the thread, and weaved my way from there down a couple of beads and then down some more beads, and now I'm in position to add another tassel. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look at this thread. I think I might have a knot. No, I'm okay. Wow, I thought I got a knot. Okay, so I need to use my last hank, and on these hanks, if you just pull one of the thread, they normally come apart. So I'm just going to get the rest of these off the thread, put that in the bin. Right, let's get on. So 180, 3 green, 180, 5 whites, 180. Oh, it isn't, it's not an 80 at all, it is a rondelle, 3 greens, 180, 5 white, 180, 3 green, a rondelle and a white turney. Drop the beads down to your work. Missing the last white, and needle your way through all your beads. As always, being careful not to miss out any beads as you go. So what's the weather like where you are? Have you got snow? Have you got rain? Is it freezing cold? I've never known Cornwall to be so cold since I've moved down here. It's about right, guys, isn't it? If I went to Spain or anywhere like that, I'd do the same over there, I think. Okay. Pull your beads up snug. And work your way up those beads. To come out level with the next one, so I'm going to come out the two in the middle. So what I've done is I've come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads, and that puts me next to coming down the next row before I can add my tassel. It can seem quite fiddly, but the more you do, the easier it will be. So that puts me in position again to come, can you see that I'm coming, I've come out, I've not gone all the way up those beads. I've come out at bead number 1, 2, 3, 4 and coming over and going down that row, and that puts me in place to do another tassel. Okay, so I'll leave you here to carry on. Now you can go down. I'm going to put in another so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put in another 4 lengths of tassel, and we'll have a look at it then and see if we can fit any more in, or if we like the look. Okay, so you keep on going then, adding your tassels, coming back up, working your way through the beads next door, and then keep on going and see if you can get in. I've got, like I say, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can actually get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the one I'm coming out of. So that'll mean that there'll be 8 little danglies. So let's do those together. And not together, because I'm not worthy, am I? We'll come back in a minute. Okay guys, so you carry on and I'll see you in a mojo. Here we are back then. So I've managed to put on 7 dangles, and for my liking that's enough. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to finish this side off, and I'm just going to back you off a little bit. So, okay, to finish off then, I've added my last tassel and I've come back up my set of beads in the spiral, and I need to start tying off. Now to tie off, I'm going to needle back through 3 of the core beads, pull my thread through, okay. To start then, I'm going to catch a thread in between the core beads, okay. So I'll bring you in a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, maybe not. So I've caught a thread in the core beads, pull the thread down without putting any knots in it till you've got a small loop. Put the needle through the loop and slowly pull that thread, and the knot will go into the core beads. Okay, moving forward then, needle through as many of the core beads as your needle takes you, coming out of the core beads, pull your thread through, catch a thread, pull it through. My thread is really very long, yours may not be this long. Okay, you get a small loop, put your needle through it, slowly pull it down, and in it goes. Okay, needle through some cores wherever it comes out. Through some, oh, missed. Thread in the middle and the core beads. Very knotty today. Through the little loop and slowly pull it down. Okay, and you can keep doing that until you feel that you've knotted enough. Pulling the thread through, catching some thread, little loop, needle through the loop. These are called half hitch knots. And pulling your thread down. Going through some core beads wherever you come out. Catch threads. Try not to get knotted. Story of my life today. catching the loop, pulling it down and going through some core beads. Pull the thread through, catching a loop, oh, missed it, do it again. The thread's starting to behave itself again now, must be because it's warmed up. Just going through 4 or 5 beads as you go, and I've knotted through that much at the moment. Just going to go a little bit further. Can never be too careful. I think this will be my last one, I don't think it needs any more. Through the loop. Pull the loop, and we never cut off where we've tied a knot, so going up a few more beads, and I think that'll do us. My scissors, stay to my desk and cut off my thread. Okay, so that's one lot of tassels done. Very nice they are too. Coming down to the other side then, and if you remember, take the stop bead off. I think I've got a knot, yes I have. Just going to chop that knot off. Now we need to add some thread. So what I'm going to do is the thread that I've got remaining from doing one side, I am going to make a slip knot. Just going to join on. There's my slip knot. There was my slip knot. There's my slip knot. Put my old thread through and pull my new threads together, peel the click, and they are on. I'm just going to trim these down a wee bit. Okay, right. So back on the other end then, if you remember, on the side with the tassels, we added some extra loops, didn't we? And that's what we need to do on the other side as well. So we're coming out of a core bead and we need to add on 2 green, 2 white, 2 green, or whatever it is in your pattern. Coming back through the last 4 core beads. Okay, 2 green, 2 white, 2 green, last 4 core beads. Two green, 2 white, 2 green, last 4 core beads. I hope I've been in frame. I just looked up and I wasn't really in frame. Could do with so it's wider, a wider area, but close up for you so you can see. I am trying my best. 2 green, 2 white. well, 2 white, 2 green, through, core beads, 2 green, 2 white, 2 green, don't know if you can hear the wind, it's sounds like a reed. I think it's got like a reed effect on the windows. And believe it or not, the windows are double glazed, so you shouldn't really have that effect, but hey, there we go. I'll do one more. 2 green, 2 white, 2 green, and the last one through the core beads and out. There we go. The last one is in. Okay, so we're coming out to the centre. Just going to check my thread, and I've got the knot. Thought I had. Sometimes if they're tight like that and they won't come undone, the only way you can undo them is by making sure that you have the you don't have your working thread is cut that bit and the other bit comes undone. So I've got rid of that. Okay. Alright then, so it was 1 8, 3 green, 1 8, 5 white, 4 5, rondelle, 3 green, 1 8, 5 white, 1 8, 3 green, rondelle and a turning white. Okay, pull them down, missing our end bead, and then needling through all the beads, making sure we don't miss any. Oh, you monkey. And going up. An outer spiral set of beads and pulling the end through and down and pulling the beads up. Okay. And then coming down next to it. notice that the knot, that the join that I made has snugly gone inside those beads. Okay, so carry on then, and you need to make 7 in total to match the other side. So I'll see you once you've made your 7. Catch you in a mojo. Here we go then, that's the second lot of tassels done. There's my first lot. And there's my second lot. So all that's left to do then is tie off. So up through the beads, centre beads, however many you can get, a nice pull. Pick up a thread, pull through the loop, pull it down. That's the wrong way, Jane. Up through some beads. How did yours turn out? Was it good? Bet it was, but it's lovely. You'll be making these forevermore now because you do get the bug. And if you've got any, like I say, any of the cheaper beads and you don't know what to do with, this is a nice project for them. Bit of a stash buster, this one. Put through some beads. It's not knotted, okay. And catch thread, needle through the loop, pull it down, up through some centre beads, making sure you don't catch any beads. Don't be afraid either to bend your work over to find a thread. Through the thread. Please don't look at my nails. I'm going to give myself a manicure tonight. Oh, can you hear that wind whistling through the windows? And they are, like I say, they are double glazed as well. Oh wow. Catch a thread. Through. If there's anything in particular that you'd like to see made, do give me a shout, and if I'm able to do it, if I know what the stitch is, I will do a tutorial on it for you. If not, I think the next one I'm going to be doing after this is a right angle weave bracelet or necklace. But do please leave a comment. Love to read through the comments. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video and you found the video useful, to give me a thumbs up. It'd be good. And if you haven't already subscribed and you'd like to join me on further journey in my bead making, as if I make beads, journey on my jewellery making or beading tutorials, whatever you'd like to call it, then please subscribe. And obviously you will be notified if you press the little bell. That'll notify you of any new videos I have coming out. But you will also be notified of my metal detecting videos, because I do metal detecting as well. If I can grow my channel, then obviously I will separate them, but as it stands at the moment, it's just not with me separating them. Ooh, I'll stab myself. So this will be my last knot, I think. Last one then. Catch a thread. Tie a knot. Always remember to move forward, never cut off where you tie a knot. That'll do us, I think. Stuck on everything. And cut my thread off. And there we have it. Let's widen you out. There you have your necklace. Like I say, mine is about 33 inches. If you want it to go over your head and have a decent knot, you need to remember at least 40 inches, but you can keep going or according how long you want it. It's entirely up to yourself. And the beautiful tassels on the end, isn't that cute? So just show you then how to tie a knot. I mean, as if you don't know, but so hold in your beadwork, wrap it around, put it through, and there's your knot. Now but I quite like that. I think this would be a nice short necklace. Closer up the chest. Let me just see if it goes over my head still. Yeah, it still goes over my head. So this would look quite... I'm going to leave it. What I was going to do is make a little beaded band and then catch it closer down here. But I quite like that. What do you think? A bit shorter and it'll sit higher up on the chest. Yeah. I like it. And then you can, yeah, I really like that. Lower it down. So there is my tasseled necklace. I mean, all of it actually. It's really, I love the colours. I don't know whether it's me personally. I don't think whether it'll suit me because I'm blonde. I don't know whether it'll wash me out a little bit, but for summer, that is great. I absolutely adore it. Love it. Fab. Hope yours turned out as well. If you've got any queries or questions, please leave a comment. I will leave a link to my Facebook page, which is See Beads and Dreams. It is a young page, so don't expect to see absolutely masses and masses and masses of stuff on there, because there isn't. But I put the videos on there that I load up onto YouTube. There's photographs of all my jewellery I've made. So there you go then. Fab. Love it. And I've still got a few bits left. I might be able to make something out of those. A couple of pair of earrings or something out of those, or a bit of decoration on a bracelet. I've still got all that left of that hank, and just those few left from the greens. But wow, I've enjoyed myself. Have you? So, hope to see you on the next one then, guys. Like I say, I think I'm going to do a right angle weave bracelet on the next one. So, let's see them thumbs. Thumbs. Not dirty thumbs like these, as in, they're not dirty, they're just chipped nail varnish. But let's see your thumbs. See you on the next one, guys. Cheers. Love that. Beautiful.